Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Lost. This is the 11th episode of the first season. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. So we have been going through the motions on everybody's backstories. We've had a Claire, a Saeed, we've had the couple story, we've had Jack, Charlie, Locke, Sawyer, Kate. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's everybody so far, and then maybe we're going to get a Boone one, and obviously Shannon's, and that would kind of box everybody off who would kind of, I would class as in the main cast vicinity. Now again, interesting stuff last episode with obviously Claire and her pregnancy. You know, it looked like she was going to have the baby, then it looked like she was going through a bit of stress and it was causing, you know, like early labor / obviously contractions. We also seen somebody try to take her or maybe kind of inject her with something that was obviously going to harm the baby. She also had a nightmare as well, so like all this crazy stuff was going on, and like nobody had actually seen anybody kind of attack her. So you know, it's kind of 50-50. You had Charlie believing her, saying that yeah, everything that she's saying, you know, I'm on her side. Then you had Jack, who's obviously like a doctor, trying to look at it from a, you know, an actual point of view, where he's like, look, maybe it's a condition, maybe it's because she's heavily pregnant and she's due in a couple of days and she's under a lot of stress, do you know what I mean, and she's having nightmares and she's sleepwalking, and maybe that she's actually, you know, not being attacked and she's actually seeing different things, you know what I mean. Like, he's trying to go through and diagnose it. Now, interestingly, we got her backstory and obviously how she ended up kind of being on this island. You know, she was gonna originally get the baby up for adoption, and then obviously she spoke to a psychic person. He was saying like, no, you need to be in the baby's life. Do you know what I mean? Whatever happens, you need to be there and bring it up. Now again, he ended up saying, look, I changed my mind. You know, I found a great couple in LA. You know, they're gonna give you 18K to obviously go and deliver the baby to them. I've got you a ticket here. It needs to be on this plane. It needs to be, you know, tomorrow that you go, and they're going to be waiting for you. And Charlie was saying maybe the guy knew. Maybe he knew the plane was going down. He knew that it was the best option, that you would actually stay with the baby. Do you know what I mean? And everything kind of happens for a reason. I thought it was interesting. You know, I've been saying about people on the island, you know, since Danielle has obviously confirmed that there's others and herself after we've seen the Saeed episode, that they need to make a list and realize like who's in their camp, and pretty much like if somebody else kind of joins who's not on this list, where have you come from, where have you been, you know, how did you get here all this time. Really started actually doing that last episode. He's gone through, he's taking everybody's names off in his own standard notepad. Then he got the manifest from the actual plane log itself and realised that, yes, that is right. Ethan, the new guy that's been dropped in, is not part of the original people on the flight. He was already on the island, and we ended the episode with him stood there in front of Charlie and obviously Claire in the middle of the forest with nobody else around. So God knows, mate, how it's going to go, but I'm excited to see obviously what he wants with them, and yeah, how it's going to play out. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Has anyone seen Ethan?
Yeah, he went to get some wood. Took off on the path to the beach. Is he okay?
Where's Charlie?
He went after Claire.
She was moving back to the beach. Claire, that's hers.
Drag marks here and here. I think they've been taken.
Hope so. I hope they don't die though, but I hope they have been taken.
Claire!
How could one man drag off two people, one of them pregnant?
You're asking the wrong question, not how. Why? We need to prepare. We could be back at the caves in 10 minutes. Organize a search party, get away.
Which way did they go, Locke?
I mean, I understand Jack's intentions.
Claire! Claire! Come on back.
How many people are in a room like that?
Call it, Jack. It's over. Call it.
Let him go alone.
Don't worry. I'll catch up. I could use another hand if you're up for it.
I'm up for it.
Then let's get moving.
Hey, look, you know, a lot of us don't just want to sit here waiting for news.
Thanks, but we're set. Anyone else just gonna slow us down?
Maybe I'll just put together another party.
Good idea. We're going north. I suggest you go south.
You didn't have to do this procedure.
I don't have to do anything. I chose to do this procedure, this emergency procedure, because when this girl crashed in the ER, they called me.
You cut her hepatic artery. You made a mistake.
They called. You tell me, if you were upstairs and I was in a restaurant having lunch, then why did they call me?
How many drinks did you have at lunch, Dad?
Dominated him there. Now, before we get into that, right, I've got to say one thing I hate, and you know, hate's a strong word, but it is people that can't acknowledge a mistake that they make. You know, like literally, if you're in work and you make a mistake and somebody's, you know, looking for someone to blame, own it. Own your fucking mistakes, mate. It literally pecks my head so much. Everything in life, do you know what I mean? If you're playing a sport, yeah, and you make a mistake and your team lose, don't point your finger and say it's their fault, you should have done that. No, just own it, mate. People respect people that own stuff. Do you know what I mean? You do something wrong, you own up to it. I like you more. Do something right, get the praise, I'll give it to you. But never, like, the guys that guy, his dad, first of all, I don't like him, but he's trying to point the finger blaming Jack for the reason that girl's dead. When Jack's saying, you're the one that cut something, you're the one that severed her artery or something, you're the one out who's having drinks at lunch. Oh, well, if you was upstairs, why did they call me at a restaurant? Well, maybe because you was option A. But the fact is you made a mistake, and that's the reason she's dead. Own it. Like, literally, it does my head in when people try and point fingers.
It's a good thing you're going in a circle. Not much of a search grid, but we never would have found you otherwise. You should go back to the caves.
You found me. We can find Charlie and Claire. Now, do we have a trail to follow or not?
Jack, this was my fault. If we catch up with them, I don't want anything to happen to the only trained physician on the island, so go back. Be the doctor.
Can we go now?
Like how Jack never wants to give up, but you got to use a bit of common sense sometimes. You're the only guy that can help people.
I'm getting sick of being treated like a second-class citizen around here because Mount Baldy can bag a boar.
Mr. Locke's a warrior. He can hunt, he can track stuff, and he's the only one who brought knives.
I might not be a warrior, but I am going south.
Tie these off so we don't get lost.
You can lead us back to camp, right?
If nothing happens to me.
It's got to be almost 4 o'clock. When the sun sets,
It's
there's no way.
4:25. And yes, I'm taking a break.
Can I talk to you for a sec?
Jack's too keen. He is too keen.
To give the guy a little space. What's going on?
Claire, I gave her a sedative.
You can't.
She told me someone was after her, that she was being attacked, and she just seemed so out of it. I thought that her pregnancy was amping up her stress, and I didn't believe her.
Look familiar?
It's Charlie's. He's leaving us a trail.
There's another trail here. People moved off this way.
Charlie's leaving these for us to follow. They went that way.
Unless Charlie isn't the one leaving them. Take off in one direction, double back in his own footprint.
Wait, now you're a tracker? Let's split up. I'll take that one. Where do you think Ethan came from?
Maybe he was already on the island.
Got yourself one hell of an imagination, kid. Tribe of evil natives planted a ringer in the camp to kidnap a pregnant girl and a reject from VH1 has-been.
What do you do in the real world, Mr. Locke?
Why don't you guess?
Well, you're either a taxidermist or a hitman.
Collection supervisor for a box company.
Yeah, right.
Please slow down.
He said they went this way.
I think they went this way. I'm not as good at this as Locke is.
Just give me something real, anything.
My dad was in the Army, Ranger Battalion. We were stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington State. Being in the woods, it was like his religion. Anything you want to share, Jack?
Mate, Jack's been annoying this episode, in my opinion.
What's it say?
The patient was brought to the ER following a car accident. The patient succumbed to her injuries.
Like you fixed everything but the patient. You had no business being in OR.
Accidents happen in surgeries all the time, Jack. That's the truth, and you know it. If you mention alcohol, well, that's the only fact that's going to matter. They'll strip me of my license. I've had to sacrifice certain aspects of my relationship with you so that hundreds and thousands of patients will live.
It's his dad, innit? That's what I mean, man. Imagine, like, trying to get your dad done. That is it's hard.
I promise will never happen again.
It's just words, innit, to get out of it. That's all it is. He's giving him one more chance, isn't there? And it's because it's his dad as well, man. It plays on the heartstrings to someone else. It'd be different. The thing is, though, Jack's right. You know, the guy's incompetent. Regardless of how good he is in the past, yeah? He could have been a doctor for 40 years, and 39 of them could have been the world's best, mate. Saved everyone. But now, if he's getting older, his hands are shaking, he's doing things wrong, you know, he's drinking, he's not, like, reliable and competent enough, then he deserves not to be a doctor. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just a straight up fact. It doesn't matter how much you give your life to it, you're there to save people. And if you're not in that peak condition to be able to do those procedures anymore, then yeah, you shouldn't be saving those people anymore. No, you should be, maybe stay in the hospital and help in other ways, but not be doing these surgical procedures. And the fact is as well, mistakes do happen. They happen all the time. And like, if she died because you done a procedure and she just died, do you know what I mean? Because it was a natural, normal mistake, alcohol not involved, then that's acceptable. You know, it's ruthless and we don't want that to happen, but that's just it. You know what I mean? You can't save everyone. But if you're taking stuff and doing things that's going to, you know, reduce your maximum level of output, do you know what I mean? And it's going to cause potential deaths, then that needs to be called out. So I wouldn't say I'm disappointed with Jack with signing that. It's his dad and he's just manipulated him with obviously his words, but do you know what I mean? Like, in real life, incompetence does need to be called out.
I don't know if you Islam's got a concept of karma, but I get the sense Asylum just served you up a heaping platter of cosmic payback.
But know that I left this camp out of shame for what I did to you.
If it wasn't your intention to return, then why did you?
I was taken prisoner by the French woman. She murdered her entire team.
Right. And these others, who the hell are they?
I don't know. She's never seen them.
Oh, she's never seen them, but she knows they're there.
If you believe her.
Do you?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he might do now.
Maybe not.
Plane hull's almost in the water. Kept your signal fire burning.
Kept his signal fire burning, so he's, you know what I mean? So he's getting better. He's getting better.
I wasn't very good when I first started playing either.
I didn't just start playing. I took 17th in a tournament once.
17 is not very good.
No, 17th is very good.
Come on, one more game, double or nothing.
Can't. I got a meeting.
A meeting?
Yeah.
You owe me $20,000.
You'll get it.
So, Boone, what do you do in the real world?
It's a wedding thing. My mother is just Martha Stewart of matrimony. I run one of the subsidiaries.
You should turn around, Boone, head back.
What?
Trail's been cold for a quarter mile. Dangerous terrain ahead. You start now, you'll make it back to camp.
I'm not heading back.
They teach you how to predict the weather in a box company?
Oh, what's that noise, mate? They can hear the screams.
Yeah. Did you hear her?
What? Hear who?
It's not okay.
If you do not stop following me, I will kill one of them. No more warnings.
Guys are fighting, mate. Look at him. He just smoked Jack there, didn't he? He didn't even get like one punch in. He literally dodged them all and knocked him out. All he did is fell off that, well, banking or whatever, like little ledge. But Kate should be able to look down and see them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as if he fell miles away where she couldn't visually see the impact. So, mate, they are going in the right direction. Maybe he doesn't know that Jack's with somebody. He thinks that Jack's on his own. Maybe Kate has managed to, as that fight's going on, double back around and maybe gone to Charlie or something. That would be interesting. Do you know what I mean? But that was interesting. Showed that he's got good combat, good fighting skills. And, you know, Locke as well. Locke's always trying to deter people back to camp. Now, I'm not saying that he's one of the others, but I always think that the camera lingers on Locke's face quite a bit. He's always staring and it always lingers on him and stays there. But we've had a Locke backstory, which makes me think that he's part of the manifest. Obviously, they would have figured that out when they went through the thing like Hurley did last episode. But, like I said, you know, he does always try to send people back to camp all the time. He's done it again. So if you think about it here, he's tried to send Boone back and Jack. There's only 4 of them come out of there. He's tried to send 2 of them away. Not had the time to have a conversation with Kate, but bet you if he did, he'd try to send her back as well. Do you know what I mean? So it is interesting.
That man that my father's talking to, who is that?
That's her husband.
Jack.
He was here.
You banged your head, Jack.
No, he was here.
You have to stop.
Not letting him do this.
Not letting him?
Not again.
Now, in my professional opinion, ladies and gentlemen, and that's all I have, by the time I was called in, the damage was irreversible.
You were aware of the patient's pregnancy when you went into the procedure.
Extremely early in the pregnancy, so our primary focus had to be on the mother.
I didn't come into the OR until well into the procedure.
Jack.
I was warned by one of the nurses that my father was operating under the influence. He had also severed the patient's hepatic artery.
Can't blame him though. Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one, that, but you know, he's told the truth at the end of the day. Oh, is Charlie dead? Nah, man.
on.
Come on, Charlie. I actually don't want you to die.
Come on. Come on, Charlie. Come on. Come on.
I actually can't believe that Charlie's died. I'm actually pretty wounded, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
No.
Jack! Jack!
Come on.
Oh, Jack, never give up. Yes, there we go. There we go. I'm happy with that. Acting from all of them's good. Kate's still acting pretty good there, do you know what I mean? Crying. Hey, at least everybody knows he's telling the truth now. There is others on the island, do you know what I mean?
They find Claire?
Well, Locke and Boone are still out there, aren't they? Not seen them back.
We're gonna go back out and look for Claire the moment the sun comes up. And anything that you can tell me about what you remember, see or hear.
I didn't see anything, hear anything. That's all they wanted. All they wanted was Claire.
At least it's referenced more than one person again.
I don't see how you can still be following this trail. I think we should go back, man. I'm gonna follow the strips back.
Suit yourself. You need this more than I do.
Is it coincidental or what?
What is that?
That's what we're gonna find out.
I'm not saying that Locke's part of the others, but what I am saying is, you know, sometimes he is a bit sus, and I'm like, do you know what I mean? Like, he has been trying to send everybody back, and like, if they do want to go back, he's you know, he's not bothered either to be left on his own. Like I said, I feel like the camera does linger on his face sometimes, you know, too long, as if like we're supposed to kind of look at it. And he has stared into the light of the island or whatever it is that he's seen. Do you know what I mean? He's like revolutionized now. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, again, very interesting episode. I think in certain aspects of the current, present, like, jungle, Jack, he was annoying me a little bit. He was too keen, dead eager to get there, just running and, like, impatient. That's what it was. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you got to be level-headed. It's like, it's not like a university assignment, but have you ever done one and like you're sitting there all day, you're dead eager to get through it and you're typing it and all that and you're reading it and it seems all dead good, and then you have a break, you go for a drink, something to eat, sit down, notice all the spelling mistakes that you've done. Why? Because you was blinded, you was focused, you feel like, I'm doing the right thing, I need to get it done, and you wasn't being as competent as you could be because you wasn't resting up and just having that little pause and a little 5 seconds, you know, just chill. And that's like them. He was too keen to go forward. I'm right, this is the right way. Ultimately, you know, I've got to say, that was the right way, so fair play. But he was dead keen and he was stressing me out a little bit. He didn't want to sit down and just take a breather, wait a couple of seconds. But then again, it was Locke that said he wanted to take a breather in a couple of seconds. It was Locke that said, the paths go this way, I'll go that way. We'll go, and turns out that that way is not the way that they actually got taken. So then I'm thinking, Now, I'm not saying Locke's done anything to make me think that he's not one of them. Like I said, I've had a backstory, his name must be on the, you know what I mean, manifest. But, I don't know, I just questioned everyone now. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, it was interesting in terms of Jack choosing that to send his dad down. I don't blame him. It's ruthless because it is his dad. But in real life, you're going to call out incompetence, aren't you? Do you know? If you like NBA, NHL, do you know what I mean? FIFA, football, do you know what I'm saying? If someone on your team is not pulling their weight and they're incompetent and they're letting the team down, you're going to call them out. Regardless, even if it is your star player. Whether it's Cristiano Ronaldo, do you know what I'm saying? Whether it's LeBron James, you know what I mean? Whether Patrick Mahomes. You're going to say, tell you what, was good, you was the peak, you was the best, but you can't perform now, and you know what I mean, it's time to step back. You ain't doing it the way it needs to be done, and we got this young person here, Jack, who could do it better than you now. Do you know what I mean? You've been great, you've saved so many lives, but now as you're getting older, you're not as competent as you was before, and you just caused this woman to die. And you know, now you got Jack to falsify the reports. And you've not been telling him the correct information that she was pregnant as well. So you took 2 lives, technically, from your incompetence. And that was the last string in Jack's bow, do you know what I mean? And he had to come in, he had to reveal the truth. Now, Jack should get done as well, in my personal opinion, for possibly concealing evidence knowing that. I would suspend him because he is withholding that. But in terms of that about his dad, you know what I mean, I feel like he done the right thing, and it kind of portrayed into the present. I feel like we've done that as well with a couple of other storylines where, like, now bringing it into the present, it showed the determination of Jack not letting something slip away, and, you know what I mean, his motivation to keep going and going and going and not letting, you know, Charlie die, for example. He was there. He's lost one life already. We could see it in him. He wants to fight until the very end. He don't want to call it. He wants to keep going, and he had me there with Charlie, but ultimately, do you know what I mean? It was a good ending to the episode. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. I thought the others there with Charlie, I really, really did. You know, he didn't look in a good way, did he? To be honest, he looked dead. Let's be honest, he did do. And they kind of played it out like he was dead as well, didn't they? You know, he was, you know, Ethan pulled him up high, mate. Literally, very high. Beat him up, hung him, and obviously he's taken Claire, and that's all he wanted, Claire. Didn't care about Charlie. It's obvious that they wanted Claire, though, because it looked like, obviously, he went for the baby last episode. So, I mean, I'm interested to see, obviously, how many of them there are, where they're taking her, what did they want with her. Maybe we get that next episode. You know, but Jack's come in, like I said, after that whole episode about his dad and his backstory, and they keep fighting. He's come in, he's obviously helped cut him down, and he's gone for it. He's hitting his chest, he's giving him mouth to mouth, he's never giving up. You know, even when it was Kate saying, look, he's gone, he's gone, he's gone. Jack, you know, he was determined to keep going, and I'm glad that he's alive. But Charlie seems to be, well, I don't know if he seems to be, like, in post-traumatic stress, you know what I mean, or whatever you want to call it, where, like, he's going through the trauma of everything that's happened, and that's why he's not speaking to everybody. Or maybe, like I said, he was looking, he's seen something like Locke did in the island, and it's, you know, it's affected his mind. He did mention that's all they wanted was Claire, do you know what I mean? So he referenced that it was, like, more than one of them, even though we've only seen Ethan. We've also seen that Ethan is pretty strong, and he's got good fighting skills, because he easily, you know, made light work of Jack. He just knocked him out. And also, you know, I've been saying about Locke and about the situations where he's been, like, trying to usher everybody back to the camp while he still progresses forward, you know. I'm interested to see, obviously, what's going on with him. Like, what are the chances that he's like, look, mate, you know, you need this torch more than me, and he throws it to him, and he miscatches it, do you know what I mean? And it lands on this, like, precise location here, which is something else to investigate. Now, in my opinion, I'm excited for that. You know, I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's a bunker. And, like, inside of here, there's going to be, like, weapons or, like, information on who has previously been there or who is there right now. Do you know what I mean? I've got to, you know, I'm not going to put loads of suspicion on Locke, because it did look like it's a place that's not been uncovered for a while. Do you know what I mean? Like, the mud, even though it was raining, so you could say that's the reason why, but the mud and the leaves and everything was, like, covering it, and they had to scrape it and drag it all back, and he was bashing, like, the dirt in all the locations with his knife to see how big it kind of was. So, like, you know, it doesn't look like it's a place that's frequently used, if that's a better way of obviously saying it. But he is a good tracker, and obviously he's up here. And he's with Boone, which hopefully doesn't attack him and kill him, but I'm excited to see obviously what they find inside of here. I really want the next episode just to be about, well, not to only be about, but to be about Claire being taken and what they want from her and how many there is, because that excites me. You know, this is just an extra bit of layers that they're adding to the story, which has obviously now has got me intrigued the most. So I don't want them to leave me hanging for a long time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I really wish Daniela as well would be back into the story. I don't want her to be referenced once and then not see her for ages. I do like, though, how Saeed's back into camp and he's obviously speaking about her and they're kind of listening as well. I like how Sawyer's come over to him and he wasn't really hostile, was he? He was kind of saying here and here. Do you know what I mean? It looks like the islands kind of dealt your repercussions from, obviously, the actions that he took against me, if that made sense. You know, he didn't actually attack him or anything like that, and he actually left it as well. He was saying that the tide's coming in, do you know what I mean? So it's moving up the beach, so it kind of referenced that he might be staying here in the caves now, but he was saying why he was away, kept the fire burning, do you know, he signal in case anybody come round. So I don't know, I like the episode, I liked how it progressed, I like where we're going, I like how Claire's been taken, how we had the tease of Charlie dying, and obviously now Locke and Boone have found something else, as well as Saeed coming back and passing information out about the French woman. There's lots of it to explore, and we're only, like I say, 11 episodes in, so there's so much to go at. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you did enjoy it, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.